Hey guys, it's Chrissy Chella here. Welcome back to my channel for another video that I really hope helps as many of you as possible. So as you guys know, we've been making way too many YouTube videos for the past, I would say 6 years. And throughout every single YouTube video that I've made, my intention has always been for someone to leave that video better off than when they first started watching it. And this video for me is one that I can wholeheartedly sit here and confidently say that these are the things and the mistakes that I made at the beginning of my fitness journey that seriously prolonged my progress. You already know that for me, a fitness journey is all about doing things that you can have sustained for the rest of your life and things that you can do over and over again. Fitness should absolutely never consume your life. If it's going to add anything, it should be elevating your life. Always remember that. But if you are someone, and my videos are from anyone to beginner to someone who has been doing this for a really long time or someone that just needs assurance, but this video is specifically aimed to people who genuinely want to make progress quicker, necessarily don't want to make the mistakes I made when I've been training for the past 11 plus years, and also people who are genuinely looking for results. So I'm going to just put that disclaimer up there because I don't want anyone coming from me and being like, you talk about holistic health and you're making this video. I'm trying to help everyone here. So without further ado, we're going to go into mistake number 1 that I made. Tip number 1 and the mistake that I made. So the mistake I made was essentially I would go into the gym and I would think that the longer I stayed in the gym and if I just kind of followed a routine, that would be enough. But actually it was more about the intensity and the intention behind the workout. So really and truly, did I need to be in the gym 6 days a week to get results? Absolutely not. But could I have been in the gym 4 days a week with actual intention, purpose, and intensity? Those would have probably got me better and quicker results. At the beginning was going to the gym. I was training an hour, sometimes 2 hours at a time. I was doing shit ton of cardio at the beginning, and then I was doing weights and I'd be too fatigued to progressively overload and I wouldn't actually see any results. Obviously, results are relative. What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to gain muscle? Are you trying to lose weight? It's really relative. For the purpose of this video, we're going to talk about you gaining muscle and also becoming leaner and pretty much down that road. So essentially, I would think that if I spent longer in the gym, I would get quicker results, and actually it was doing the counter. I was actually not seeing the results I wanted. I was fatiguing my body. I was not getting enough rest and recovery, and as a result, I was plateauing. So my biggest tip for you with this mistake is to actually reduce the amount of times you go into the gym, but focus more on the intensity of your workout. Intensity can vary from anything from progressive overload to actually timing your rest period so you're not spending too long between sets. Actually thinking about the exercises that you're doing and are you actually performing these with full range of motion, slowing the movement down and optimizing as much growth as you possibly can. So those are a few things that you really need to focus on. If you want to learn all about progressive overload, have a look at this video here. I'll also insert it in the description below. That is the only video you need to watch when it comes to progressive overload and how to do it properly. Tip number 2 and mistake I made was thinking that sleep, recovery, and rest was something unnecessary. I was functioning on 4 hours sleep, especially when I was starting off my first business, Evolve You, and then especially with my second business, Honor Active, which you guys are familiar with. Both of those businesses absolutely exhausted me, but I also wasn't sleeping much. I was sleeping maybe 4 hours a day. And I used to think, totally fine. If I go to the gym, I'll get amazing results because I'll be in the gym and I'll have intensity and I'll have progressive overload, but I don't necessarily need to recover. That is the worst thing you could possibly ever do. Sleep, rest days, and recovery are fundamentally more important than actually you going to the gym 5 to 6 days a week. I cannot stress that enough. I'm so excited to announce that this video is again sponsored by my good friends at 8 Sleep. 8 Sleep has completely changed the game for me when it comes to recording all my stats, data and recovery. I made a video about the benefits of having this mattress topper and really tracking your sleep and recovery. And because I'm able to do so, and as you can see here, all of my days that I wake up, I can look at it, look at the stats, what recovery I've done, what rest I've actually incurred, and then it will determine what kind of session that I'm going to lead in the gym. Especially being pregnant now, rest and recovery is something that I'm focusing more than moving my body. It is such a benefit to actually be tracking your sleep and recovery, because then you will actually know what to do properly in the gym. I can't stress enough how much I absolutely adore my 8 sleep. I couldn't envision my life without it. And you guys already know I barely talk about any brands on this channel because number one, I'm not just going to take a paycheck for the sake of it. And number two, if I haven't been using it for at least 8 months myself, I'm not even going to entertain it. And 8 sleep is something you need, especially if you're serious about your health and wellness. Running 2 companies is absolutely no joke. It's a lot of burden, especially when you're pregnant, to travel. If any mummies out there know, you will know. And honestly, my sleep was a disaster. I'm 6 months pregnant. I was traveling. It's an 11-hour difference. And I completely felt my body crumble. It took me at least 1 week to recover in the state that I was before I left. And that was because I couldn't get comfortable. I couldn't sleep properly. My sleeping pattern was all over the place. I didn't go to the gym. It was the last thing on my mind. And also because I wasn't sleeping well, I needed more sugar and I needed more, food that not necessarily is good for you to have all the time. Once in a while, of course, it's absolutely fine. But every single moment of the day, that's not a good sign. It means that I wasn't recovering and I wasn't getting the things that I needed. Whereas before I left, I was. And that just indicated to me again, especially being 6 months pregnant, the importance of recovery, the importance of sleep, and actually investing in even bedding, investing in good pillows, investing in a mattress topper that's going to actually track your sleep. These things are so unbelievably necessary. And if I can give you one tip, please try and sleep. Minimum 7 hours a night is an absolute must. And please don't do what I did and think it's cool to sleep 4 hours a night, because it's absolutely not. And I could have gone without it. The next mistake I made was I was absolutely winging it. And that is not the way to go if you want to optimize your results with a quicker duration. If you are just going to the gym and you're kind of doing whatever everyone else is doing, or you followed some random workout on Instagram or whatever you've been doing, I can't stress enough to you how that is very problematic. There is a complete difference between you going to the gym or working out just because you want to move your body, and results are really the last thing on your list, compared to someone who genuinely wants to see results physically. These are 2 different goals, so let's not mess them up. Right now, I'm at that point in my life where I'm moving my body because I just simply want to feel good. But if you are looking for optimum results, I can't stress enough that a program is absolutely necessary. So what I was doing in the gym was I was going at the beginning of my journey. This was about the first 2 to 3 years. And I was simply just doing workouts I'd found online, on actuallybodybuilder.com, YouTube videos that I would somewhat find, but there wasn't many out there. I was doing an hour of cardio a day, thinking that that would get me the results I wanted to see. And at the time, I wanted to see the results of bigger legs. I wanted a smaller waist, and that's okay to admit. Those are aesthetics are fine to have, and those are goals that you maybe want to aspire to, and it's okay if you want that. Those were my goals, and that's what I wanted, but cardio was not going to fit the bill to the results that I wanted. So for example, if you are someone looking to gain muscle in your legs, you need a program that focuses on progressive overload. So what I would recommend is focusing on a program that has 2, maximum 3 leg days an absolute week, with the focus of compound moves, accessory moves, and unilateral moves. Compound moves are multi-joint and multi-muscular movements, and they focus more on the heavy portion of your workouts. This is where you can truly progressive overload over a section of time. And these are the kind of exercise that you should be doing throughout your entire fitness journey, regardless of what your goals are. And there's accessories. Accessories kind of focus more on the smaller muscles, very isolated muscles, but these are more to build the aesthetics. So especially if you want, let's say, a rounder bum, focusing on cable kickbacks to focus on certain areas of the glutes would be a preferable choice. If you want more pumped biceps, then obviously focusing on hammer curls or isolated bicep curls are going to be your focus. And then finally, focusing on unilateral moves. These are single leg or single arm moves. Not only is this such a benefit when it comes to aesthetics and making progress, but it's actually so big on the health side of things. Women are more prone to ACL tears than men are. So doing single leg movements is going to strengthen your ACL and avoid any tears and injuries. So as you can see, I've given you a simplified program that you can follow, let's say on leg day. But if you want more programs and a specific routine, head on over to the Evolve You app. That's when you're going to find all of my programs, and you can download the app for 7 days free trial. If I were you, I'd even screenshot the whole workout if you really want to and go and do it. Tip number 4, and the mistake I made, was thinking I needed to eat minimal, or I could get away with eating essentially fake protein. And I can't stress enough how that is a very dangerous game, and it's not going to benefit you in the slightest. Real food is something that we need to speak more about, and is something that it goes beyond any progress that you want to make. It's for your overall health. It's for your own well-being. The luxury we have to be able to open up your fridge and actually have food is something that honestly we can't ignore and take for granted. And I can't stress enough, please don't rely just solely on supplements or the quickest thing that you can find out there. Invest your time prepping your food. Invest your time actually understanding the food combinations that you might need to create the results that you want to create. So at the beginning of my journey, I would think that, oh my God, protein yogurts, amazing. Protein shakes, amazing. Protein bars, that's all I need. And the reality is, half the time you don't even know what's in this stuff, and I'm guilty of it. I used to think that's good enough. That's what I used to take for years and years and years, and I was like, yeah, all good. Once I developed my autoimmune disease, which is Hashimoto, I had to cut a lot of that stuff out, and I couldn't have it. An average protein bar that I could pick up in the supermarket was something I didn't consider before. Now it was something that I really needed to consider. Yes, I still have things in moderation, but I'm also mindful if I have a lot of it, I will flare up. I will see not the best results that I will want. I will retain a lot of salt. I will retain a lot of water. And it's just not a good look for me. I had to consciously make the effort to really focus on the foods that I was consuming. And honestly, if you look back in the day of what I eat in a day's worth to let's say how they are now, they're just a little bit more rounded. They're more considered. You need your healthy fats for insulin. Regardless of what progress you want to make, healthy fats are necessary. You need your good sourced protein. There's so much buzz around. Don't eat too much fruit. It's full of sugar. Don't do this, is that. And honestly, I'm going to tell you my opinion, just like everyone has blasted theirs all over the internet. Get your fruits and get your veggies in. I can't stress enough how good micronutrients are for your body, for your hair, for your skin, for your sugar levels. Obviously, it varies. Some people are diabetic, some people are prone to certain fruit and veg, but I'm talking more generic here. I just think your plate should be simplified. A handful of carbs, whether that's rice, sweet potato, or even pasta, it's not bad for you. A handful of protein, 2 handfuls of micronutrients, and you're good to go. And with healthy fats, I consider maybe a thumb size of healthy fats, or let's say have half an avocado. This is again more generic and basic, so you can understand that food is not your enemy, but also please don't get reliant on quick meals and supplements to replace good sources of protein. The final mistake that I made at the beginning is not knowing when to change things. So what I mean by that is specific things that you do in your fitness routine should always sustain and be the same. For example, compound moves are compound moves. Yes, you can make them a little bit more sexy by, I don't know, adding an elevation or a deeper stretch, especially when it comes to RDLs or squats. But fundamentally, a compound movement is a compound move. What I'm referring to is sticking to the same weights over and over again, sticking to the same amount of calories over and over again, and also not making a change when it comes to my periods. And before I was pregnant, it took me honestly about 8 years to figure out how my period cycle works and how I should train during my period. If you do want a video when it comes to how to train on your period and everything you need to know, check out this video, and I'll also put it in the description box below. I've got videos on everything. I just want to help you out and see what you can get out of it. So what I mean by this is I would kind of do the same thing over and over and over again, depending on what stage of my period, depending on what my results were. I would keep on just doing the same thing and expecting more results. But we all know that the root cause of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting results. So what I suggest is fundamentally understanding what your sole goal is. So let's say your goal is to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, have a look at the calorie intake that you have. Calorie intake is important because you don't want to be consuming more than you're burning, because then you're never going to see the results that you want. So have a look at your calorie intake and how you're eating. That's number one. Does that need to be adjusted? The second thing is your training routine. Could you intensify your workouts by adding actually a little bit more cardio or more reps instead of less reps to focus more on intensity of your workouts and actually getting a bit more of a sweat on? So those are two things that you can consider. But then the other thing is, how are you training during your period? A woman's body fluctuates a lot during her period, and you could be doing the same thing over and over again and things will change and your hormones play a big factor. One thing I wish I knew at the beginning was to slow down in moments during my period that required me to slow down, but also utilize those moments where things would spike up in my hormones to push myself a little bit further. So don't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the results that you want to get. Identify what your purpose is, have a look at your nutrition, whether to add more calories or less calories. Focus on how your workout structure is. Do you need to intensify your workouts or focus more on less reps, heavy loads, depending on your goals? And then the final thing that honestly applies to everyone, actually training during your cycle and implementing your cycle properly is going to help you massively, especially as a woman. So there you have it. 5 tips that I wish I knew and 5 mistakes that I made that I really hope help you in your fitness journey. So take this with a pinch of salt. It's advice that I hope helps you, and let me know if this video was useful by giving it a thumbs up. Hit that follow button, as it goes a long way and it can help us continue to make productions and content for you along your fitness journey. I love you always and forever, and I'll catch you next time.